It's now time for the Southern League Cavaliers Coaches Show with head coach Michael McClure. We now take you to Mike Fowler, your host for tonight's program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Southern League Cavalier Football and the Mike McClure Coaches Show. I'm Mike Fowler, and I'll be your host as we talk Cavalier football and visit with Cavalier coach Mike McClure. I want to thank our sponsors for helping bring you our show each Tuesday night on 105.5 FM WFJA. Wilkinson Chevrolet, Domino's, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Fix-It Plumbing, Farm Bureau of Tramway, Jones Printing Company, and Brick Capital Video. Tonight's show will be rebroadcast at 6:30 this Friday night prior to our 7:30 game on 95.1 FM and 10:50 AM WWGP. Video of our coaches show will be posted on the WFJA Facebook page each Wednesday by noon. I look forward to talking with Cavalier coach Mike McClure tonight and bringing you exciting Southern League Cavalier football. We're going to take a short break and hear from our great sponsors. We'll be right back with Coach McClure right after these messages.
Coaches Show sponsors: Wilkinson Chevrolet, Domino's, Farm Bureau Tramway, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Fix-It Plumbing, Jones Printing Company, Brick Capital Video.
Welcome back to the Coach Mike McClure Show. Coach, welcome back again. Here we are another week into the season, and coming in after Friday night's tough game down at Pinecrest where the Cavaliers went down to the Patriots, and it was a game that unfortunately didn't get off to a real good start. Kind of ironic, they had some power issues there at the stadium, and they really came out by the time it got started. They run the opening kickback for 80 yards. We get the ball for the first possession. It's negative yardage, and then, of course, the bad punt on the snap results in a safety, and before you blink an eye, you guys are down 9-0. So just a tough night overall.
Yeah, anytime we start slow like that, we're the type of team that is going to be a rough night. So that's why we try to always tell our guys we need to start fast. Don't get put in situations where you're playing behind. If you think back to South Johnston, the block kick for the touchdown, opening drives of the game, it kind of deflates us as a team. And we got to do a better job at handling our adversary and handling those type of situations. I mean, at Pinecrest, we kick off. We knew the kid could run it back. So we really was trying to avoid him at all costs on the kickoff. But somehow it stayed in bounds, and then our coverage team just didn't get down and cover the kick. And, he ended up going to the house with it. And so we just, we always try to preach and practice fast starts. And, if you look back to our last few games, it's been special teams really that's just been hurting us, kind of the most at critical times of the game. And we practice it all day, every day, but it just, it seems like it's a different mindset when it all come Friday night. So we just got to continue to do a better job to clean up all those mistakes that we're having special team-wise, just to put our offense in a better situation and our defense. It's kind of easy to score when you got only 30 yards or 20 yards to go. So, we just got to clean those things up.
That's true. And as you mentioned, I noticed you made a change in punters this week. Joseph Cooner got a couple decent punts off in that was helpful, so hopefully that'll continue to improve. But it was just one of those games where, just physically Pinecrest was much bigger size-wise, it looked like, coming in, and they had a defense that was pretty strong for the Cavalier offense.
Yeah, as we talked about on the Tuesday before the game, that defensive line was one of our issues and one of our worries. And, like you say, the film doesn't lie, and they were every bit of what we saw on film, and so we knew we had to take care of them. But it goes back to like what I said. We even on our kickoff return, and their kicker done a great job of having touchbacks. So we're starting at our 30 and our 20. That's great field position for their defense, and especially when we're stalling and not getting any movement. But clearly, hands down, one of the most physical games we played all season. From week 1 to now, that was probably the most physical game that we had, almost similar to the Lee County game last year. It was somewhere around that area with the physicality of the opposing team. So, we just got to understand our size and understand our strengths and play and outsmart them. We just got to do a better job of that.
Yeah, and it didn't help, too, that Josh Stone, our quarterback, of course, went down, I think, about first part of the second quarter is when he came out. And he had some couple decent runs, some run options that he had before he went out and had to come out for the rest of the game. So that forced, the freshman, Brett Tate Blanks, we'll talk about him a little bit later, to come in. And, so obviously that changes your whole outlook on what you guys are playing.
Yeah, it changes kind of what we can do. We do with playing BJ, put him in. We don't want to put him in uncomfortable situations, even though, with him already being a freshman and, him getting his first snaps really at QB. We just wanted to make sure that we could put him in comfortable situations. So then we kind of limit ourselves on what we can run offensively. And most of the plays that Josh made were broken plays, where he didn't have a receiver open. Right. So he just, took off and scrambled and those type of things. And he did a good job at it when he was in.
Yeah, and even the defense, at times, like you said, having to work on a short field most of the time. But the defense, especially in the second half, had a couple good bright spots, a couple downs that, went out and were able to hold them back. So it was good. So we're going to go and take another quick look here at the Sand Hills 3A 4A Conference. Updated schedule. Of course, this past week it was Southern Lee going down to Pinecrest 47-3, Richmond County 47, Hope County 14. Anson County, 20, Union Pines 14. The Union Pines Scotland game was postponed. Scotland County, I believe, is in quarantine now, so that was postponed, and Union Pines was able to pick up that game. And, of course, Lee County was idle last week. This week coming up, you're going to be listening to your Southern Lee Cavaliers take on Hope County. It'll be Lee County at Pinecrest, Richmond County at Union Pines, and Scotland County, ironically, is idle this week. Another thing to look at really quickly, if we can, is we're going to have two quick previews. We'll start this one off, and then we'll come back after the break. But Hope County coming in for homecoming for the Cavaliers this week. Hope County's not, they're coming in with a 2-5 record, 0-3 in the conference. What are some things you're looking to see with Hope County?
Well, we know they're going to be extremely athletic. They're going to be similar to Westover, our Week 1 matchup in terms of that area. Got a pretty good quarterback. He's similar to Josh. It's just maybe a little bit bigger kid, but if he doesn't see anything that's open, he's going to take it and run. And defensively, they're similar to us, playing an odd man front like the blitz as well. So it's something our offensive line is similar to seeing, used to seeing, I would say. But overall, I think we're a similar matchup in terms of us both trying to figure out what works best for our team as far as offensive and defensive. We're still trying to find our way, still trying to find out what clicks on both sides of the ball. And I feel like they're a team that's similar to us in that area. And, they're going to be just as hungry to come in and spoil homecoming and try to get a win on us, looking at our record, being that they've been on the downside of things. And it's been a while since they got a win. So this is just the pick-me-up game that they would need, so we can't let them get momentum, and we got to be out to a fast start.
Yep, exactly. So we'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. But, again, we're going to take another quick break here from our sponsors. We'll be back with more with Coach Mike McClure right after these messages.
Coaches Show sponsors: Wilkinson Chevrolet, Domino's, Farm Bureau Tramway, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Fix-It Plumbing, Jones Printing Company, Brick Capital Video.
Welcome back to the Coach Mike McClure Show, and it's this time of the show. And before we get to the awards this week, we're just going to go back to the Hope County game. It's this Friday, Cavalier Stadium, homecoming for the Cavaliers, so kickoff is at 7:30. Get there early. And I'm assuming the tickets are the same way, either through the apps or whatever at the school.
Yeah.
And can go there and come support these Cavaliers and make it a good full night for homecoming. Especially, like to see a lot of alumni coming out too. So it'll be good to get everybody out there. So this week we went to our segment now with the WWGP Norman Financial Group Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week. These are the awards that are picked by myself and Austin Thomas, so your radio crew for the Cavaliers. And this week, the Offensive Player of the Game, we picked Brett Tate Blanks, freshman quarterback who had to come in off the bench through the second quarter. Obviously wasn't expecting to come in. All of a sudden, he's thrown into wolves, basically. But I thought Brett did a pretty good job coming in and handling that situation. There were some rough moments, but he was able to lead the drive in the second half that led to the field goal and get the points on the board. So what can you say about Brett coming in?
He did. He came in. He kept his composure. But he did everything you could ask to do for a freshman who, like I said, didn't take many live snaps at quarterback. He took a few at South Johnson when we had some equipment issues, but other than that, not having to come in and actually lead drives and lead plays, and I think he done a great job. Just handling things and holding his composure. You can tell as time went on and as the third quarter and fourth quarter came, he just came a little bit more comfortable with things. He actually threw some good balls as well. He stood in the pocket, stepped up and delivered some balls, and so excited for him as he continues to grow at the quarterback position, and future's bright for him by him being only a freshman.
Nah, exactly right. That's exactly right. And he like Josh, took some pretty good shots in that game Friday night too, and just bounced right back.
And he got right back up. I mean, so that's all. I mean, that's all you can ask for is somebody with heart like that.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
Exactly right. So congratulations to Brett Tate Blanks, our Offensive Player of the Week. And the WWGP Norman Financial Group Defensive Player of the Week this week. We had a couple guys we were looking at and choosing, but this gentleman stepped up in the second half especially and was in on a sack and a half, almost 2 full sacks for himself. So this week we go with sophomore Caleb Waters. And Caleb was playing defensive end a lot in that game the other night, and I know in a sense he's probably actually, since he started or was in there as a freshman a lot too, probably is maybe one of your leaders on the team as well.
Yeah, he's definitely getting a little bit more comfortable. I think he's starting to understand his own strength now. And the biggest thing is if he just continues to go, develop a high motor, he can really be a problem at the tight end position and at defensive end. Like only a sophomore, him too. Still growing, right. Still learning, the game and the position, and he's still adjusting to the speed of the game. But yeah, like you said, came in, had kept contained on the quarterback, ended up having a sack and a half, 2 tackles for a loss. So he was deserving of the award.
Yeah. So congratulations to Caleb Waters, our WWGP Norman Financial Group Defensive Player of the Game. And now the award we give every week, the Wilkinson Chevrolet and Coach McClure and Staff Player of the Game. This trophy that you're watching on Facebook page will be engraved with the player's name. Go to the Southern Lee trophy case at the end of the season. And Coach, I think it was a good choice you guys made this week, so I'll let you name our Player of the Game for the game against Pinecrest.
Player of the Game against Pinecrest is Brian McCollum. We decided to go with Brian because he, for him to go out in the first attempt of the night to nail it, 40 plus yards, it was big. And to get our only points on the board, and like you say, he handled all the kickoff duties for us and did what we asked him to do, try to put the ball in the places that we asked, and so we felt like by him stepping in and us believing in him and him holding his end of the bargain and nailing the field goal from 40 plus yards, he was well deserving of this, and as he continues to grow as well, he'll that distance will increase,
right?
And we definitely already have a weapon in him, but then he becomes a more deadly weapon that we have, and we don't have to try to get in the red zone as much.
That's right. And, as you mentioned that too, I mean, he does a really good job, solid, and it's got to be hard. And we were talking about it during the broadcast that, we were in field goal, getting close, and we started talking, hey, we're getting close to Brian's range. And then you had the penalty or the sack that took us way back, but there was the unsportsmanlike contact, what brought it back into range, and then you guys made the call to go for it, and it was great to see him kick that through.
Yeah, because we originally were going to run an offensive play,
right?
But then we had the penalty, and then like you said, we moved back and then moved back up. So we said, well, let's give Brian a shot here.
Yeah.
And so we decided to kick it. But one thing about all these young men is they're only freshmen and sophomores, so and they're bringing home awards right now at this young age. Very inexperienced, so the future is extremely bright for all three of these.
Exactly right, and then the continued development, like you said, is anxious to see where these guys are, 2 years from now. So it'll be great. So we have a little twist to the show tonight because of the Cavaliers being in quarantine a couple of weeks back. The Richmond County game has been rescheduled to October the 12th, 1 week from tonight. It will be a 7 o'clock kickoff, so we'll have 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff, and Richmond County is going to, this is before Friday's games, of course, comes in 5-1 and 2-0 in the conference right now. They are averaging 34.5 points a game. They give up 25 points a game, though, and their only loss is to Cardinal Gibbons in a tight game early in the season. I think that might have been week 1, actually. So you're somewhat familiar with Richmond, and what do you expect to see when you take on them next week?
Similar to Pinecrest, it's going to be a physical football game. Their offensive line, they're very physical up front. They're going to try to clear pathways for those running backs to get through, and they like to throw around a lot, trying to get their playmakers at receiver the ball, get it to them in space and see what they can do. Defensively, similar front to Pinecrest as well. All those guys got high motors. All of them can go and be disruptive at times. They got the one defense end who's, I believe, he's already committed somewhere. So definitely you just got to make sure we understand where he's at all times, and like you said, it'll be a good game. Just for our kids and for our fans to understand the environment, and the biggest thing is we're going in like any other game with an upset mentality, right. Because anything can happen on any night, and we're just going in and we're going in to play. And, we're not gonna lay down, we're not gonna fold. We're just gonna compete to the clock says 0.
Yeah, exactly right. And hopefully you go into that game Tuesday after a big homecoming win this Friday
Exactly.
night. So that'll be good. Again, come out Friday, homecoming against Hope County. Support these Cavaliers. We're going to go ahead and take another time out. We'll hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back after these messages.
Coaches Show sponsors: Wilkinson Chevrolet, Domino's, Farm Bureau Tramway, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Fix-It Plumbing, Jones Printing Company, Brick Capital Video.
Welcome back. Coach, again, thank you for your time coming in. I know it's a busy time, especially getting ready for 2 games within a week, so I appreciate you coming in.
No problem. Thank
always.
you.
So we hope you've enjoyed listening to the Mike McClure Coaches Show. We remind you to join us each Tuesday at 7:30 on 105.5 FM, WFJA, and every Friday night prior to games at 6:30 on 95.1 FM and 1050 AM, WWGP. Our Coaches Show is also posted on the WFJA website and Facebook page each Wednesday by noon. We also remind you to check out the WFJA website. Go to sports, then high school football. You'll see a choice of pages to include our results page with complete game articles posted by midnight after games, the conference standings and power rankings, schedules for all the teams in the Sand Hills 3A, 4A, and up-to-date season stats for your Southern League Cavaliers. We also want to remind you that next week our Coaches Show will not air on Tuesday night because we will be in Richmond County at 7 o'clock next Tuesday night. We are glad you've taken these opportunities to join us this season for Cavalier football. Good luck to the Cavaliers this week as they return to Cavalier Stadium for homecoming against the Bucks of Hope County. And then again, next Tuesday, the makeup game at Richmond County. Our next Coaches Show will be Tuesday, October the 19th. We thank all our sponsors for bringing you our show tonight: Wilkinson Chevrolet, Domino's, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Farm Bureau of Tramway, Fix-It Plumbing, Jones Printing Company, and Brick Capital Video. And we thank you for listening to WFJA and WWGP Sports. Good night, everyone. Go Cavs.
You've been listening to the Southern Lee Cavalier Coaches Show with head coach Mike McClure and show host Mike Fowler. On behalf of all Coaches Show sponsors, we thank you for listening to tonight's program. This has been a production of WFJA and WWGP Sports.